He then wants to take me into a back room, which ended up being a janitor's closet, not sanitary, a back room at the MGM Grand. He takes me in there where I must derobe and present to him my penis. What kind of person says, I want to go around and collect people's pee? It's an interesting kind of guy. So I'm with
Vanderlei's public opinion right now is very high. Like, people like him again. And one of the reasons why they like him is because he got fucked over by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Hardcore. They banned him for life for missing a drug test, which I just think is fucking carriage of justice. If you think the guy was doing something, then you fine him and you ban him for the amount of time that you need to based on if he was guilty. That's it. You don't get to do life. That's fucking crazy. To be so callous, to show that you are a governing body and that you are taking care of the future of these athletes and supposedly protecting them from other athletes that are cheating or from whatever other nonsense, whatever other illegal activity might be going on. And to take that position of power and to flagrantly abuse it in that way, where you're openly showing them that you don't give a fuck about them, you don't care about their career, you don't care that it's the only way they have to make a living, and you're just going to ban them for life because they missed a drug test.
So let me give you another side to this too. Vanderlei never told his side. Vanderlei got pissed and he yelled. Vanderlei, and he went to he did all of these things, but he never just sat down and told his side calmly. So here's Vanderlei's side, and when you hear this, you're gonna side with Vanderlei. Here's what happened. I was the first guy ever tested in this random out of competition testing. So none of us knew what it was, and you have to take that time into perspective because now guys understand. Look, you get a knock on the door, you must comply. But I was the first one ever we'd never heard of this. A guy shows up. Vanderlei was to be the second one tested, but didn't test. In hindsight, I shouldn't have tested. I'm not even sure they were within their rights. So, and this is relevant. They show up. The guy has no ID, absolutely no identification of who he is. I think that's a problem to start with.
It's a huge problem. That's a huge problem.
He then wants to take me into a back room, which ended up being a janitor's closet, not sanitary, a back room at the MGM Grand. He takes me in there where I must derobe and present to him my penis because he watches. You know, now that's a very private thing.
No ID. He wants to see your dick.
Yeah. And if there's look, and they need to, I understand now, and I think a lot more of us do too, that you have to get naked and do this. You got wisdom, you got all these weird things going on. At that time, though, that's a weird thing. Now we're in the back of the MGM Grand in a dirty closet, and I'm presenting to a stranger who refuses. Not only doesn't offer ID, refused to give ID. And I tried to take a picture of the son of a bitch, and he told me I could not do that. Why I backed down and didn't take, I don't know. I just accepted his authority. But in hindsight,
why didn't you call me?
Yeah, exactly. I should have. But I was caught off guard. This had never been done before, and I'm kind of just going along. But I am caught off guard by this. He then wants to stick a needle into your vein and draw blood. I'm in a back unsanitary room. Anything I've ever learned in school, you don't do things with intravenous needles. You don't take. This guy has no idea. He's not in a lab coat. Doesn't look the part at all. So now I presented myself naked to him, and now he's got a needle in my vein, and I'm signing paperwork that I haven't had time to read. So when he goes to, now understand, I speak English. We at least speak the same language. Also take into consideration the kind of guy, in fairness, the perfectly nice guy trying to feed his family, but in fairness, what kind of person says, I want to go around and collect people's pee? It's an interesting kind of guy. So I'm with an interesting character to start with.
Yes.
Now I'm naked. Now he's poking me with needles in a dirty back room at the MGM Grand. He leaves there and goes to test Vanderlei. Well, when you take everything I said into consideration, nobody knew about random testing. Nobody knew about Asada. Nobody knew anything about this out of competition. So for Vanderlei to go, hey, I don't know who you are. You're not presenting ID. I don't fully understand you. That's fair.
Yeah.
And Vanderlei talked to him and said, you want me to sign a contract, get my attorney on the phone, show me what this thing says. You know, he's kind of going through and the way the story was told is that Vanderlei just turned and ran. Well, that wasn't true. He stood his ground and talked to this guy for a while. He said, get on the phone with an attorney, prove to me who you are. He did all of these things. And then finally said, look, I got to get to a press conference. I'm leaving. Got in his car and drove right to the MGM for the press conference. Now, I didn't have this backstory at the press conference, but that's what Vanderlei did. So when the story came out that he turned and bolted out the back, that's not true. He stood and talked to the guy. He tried to reason with him. Vanderlei's never told calmly his side of the story, and that's his side. And that makes a lot of sense. Even in today's standards, that makes sense. But back then, when no one knew that drug testers could be showing up, and once they showed up that you needed to present yourself naked, that you needed to accept, that they were going to draw blood. Yeah, man, Vanderlei had the right to say, no, call my attorney. I don't know what's going on here. And the guy wouldn't show ID. That's relevant.
It's very relevant. Well,
and they banned him for life.
It's crazy.
Come on.
No, the way you describe it, I didn't know it was that way.
Yeah.
I thought
Vanderlei's
they
never
showed
told
up.
it.
Wow.
All he's done is yell, and I've always thought, now, wait, Vanderlei, time out. You've actually got a really good side here.
Yeah.
Come and tell it. Now, under today's standards, it's a little bit different because we know what's going on. And we know
do know, but we don't know that some crazy internet troll can't pretend he's a USADA guy, show up, drag you into a bathroom, and take a picture of your dick.
Exactly. And then won't document who he is, won't let you just take a